Chapter 1. Slip Inside This House. Had you not spent 5 nights a week in there like I did, upon entering the Champ Arcade, your senses might have been overwhelmed by the purient cacophony of it all. Tits and asses, cocks and snatches, eyes come hither, eyes rolled back, blinking lights everywhere, beckoning you to phallic monstrosities too gruesome to imagine handling, much less inserting, directing you to unguents and salves, lotions and greases, assaulting your higher mind to abandon ship, to leave and trust your dirty little lizard brain to call the shots. You might have tried to subdue this onslaught by limiting your gaze to the glass enclosures immediately to your left. Here, coach whips, blindfolds, and handcuffs, articles of confusion when discovered in a well-hidden shoebox in your mother's closet, were nostalgic, romantic even. But this was no place for sweetness. A closer inspection would reveal so many other trinkets and tchotchkes that you would be overwhelmed all over again. Single-serve packets of flavored lube, canisters of amyl nitrate, Spanish fly, French ticklers, cock rings, enema kits, latex gloves, medical face masks, ball gags, dental dams, paddles, rectal thermometers, forceps, nose clamps, an assortment of stainless steel speculums, and a box of X-Acto knives. Utensils for the truly depraved. You might have sought shelter in the uniform predictability of more than 10,000 VHS tapes on racks. Their covers of deep reds and soft focus promising blonde Scandinavian maidens, erotic courtesans of the Orient, black chicks. Maybe you were like me. Maybe you'd never forgotten your hairier and greasier first loves, The Devil and Miss Jones, Talk Dirty to Me, Taboo number 2, and found some perverse feeling of home just looking at these boxes. You might browse the new releases purely for shits and giggles. No, scratch that. Careful what you wish for here. Best to say you might browse the new releases on a whim. You might even find yourself engaged by these excessively fit stars and starlets with lives built around salons and tanning beds, pills and enemas. You might appreciate the perfectly retouched droplets glistening on perfectly retouched skin, a touch of marketing class belying the jabbing and squirting waiting within. But then, maybe you weren't like me. Maybe you were a dilettante stopping by only because you drew the short straw and were assigned to fetch the entertainment for your co-worker's bachelor party. You would probably gravitate to the light-hearted fare of the novelty section, selecting a copy of Edward Penis Hands or All That Jizz or the midget porn classic Naughty Napoleon. This would show your workmates that you didn't take your smut too seriously, that this was foreign terrain for you. Hopefully, you were not interested in our bargain bin, that haphazard graveyard for skin flicks at their worst. Most of these videos had been brought back by UPS after attempted returns to producers no longer in business. In the fly-by-night world of adult film, today's queen could be tomorrow's victim of a business manager with a coke habit and access to the production company's bank account. While we'd rather not have had these taking up valuable floor space, a sidewalk sale on the tourist-laden corner of First and Pike would have been frowned upon. Dropping off volumes 1 through 50 of the Lick My Butthole series at the Salvation Army was likewise out of the question. Marking down merchandise to move and throwing it into a crudely constructed bin wasn't necessarily fantastically inventive, but it was our best option. Many among us, after completing our first visit, have craved the confessional, a hot rape shower, 15 minutes of keening, or some combination of all three. Yet, if you, like me, were somehow to find yourself employed there, slogging the midnight to 8 shift no less, you'd have gradually found the place and the work somehow challenging, complete with moments to upsell when feeling ambitious. Do you want butt plugs with that? This version costs a little more, But if you're serious about watching Filipino women eat food out of each other, we ran our own line of the 31 fucking flavors of Baskin-Robbins. The implements of semi-torture were our pralines and cream, the latest issue of Blowjob Bonanza, our daiquiri ice. We would serve up either without rolling our eyes, because we knew full well that the cock's heart wants what the cock's heart wants. If a sick freak felt the urge to consult with me about what they wanted to do with another consenting sick freak, it only made the evening go faster. We might even find ourselves downright sick freak helpful. You're going to want to pick up some of these absorbent pads to put under your sheets if you're going to buy that, mister, we might suggest. Of course, to be fair, there were also the other times. Do I look like the kind of fuckwit who scours Consumer Reports researching products you'd enjoy sticking up your ass? This to a perfectly polite couple who asked for an opinion regarding my preference on the two most popular models of butt plug. It all depended on the mood, and the mood depended on a simple equation. A high Charlie equaled a happy Charlie.